Okay, I have a EVVA 3KS here. Got a weird camera angle set up so that I can have my light and see down the keyway, since I'll need to be able to see the pins in order to get my pick on them. So 3KS, I've already removed the C-clip off the back, so if I get lucky and manage to pick it, I'll be able to gut it quickly because I don't have the nice C-clip remover tool. Right now, since I pulled the key out, the core will just come out. I'll show a little bit about that if I manage to pick it. So in order to stop the core from coming out, I gotta scramble all the sliders and then stop the core from coming out because it's now locked. Also, so this thing has 12 sliders in it, and each of the sliders has 1 or 2 pins poking into the keyway. And it has 2 independent sidebars on the side, each controlled by 6 sliders, and then a passive sidebar up top, which just retains the key, so you don't need to worry about the top one. You just got to make sure that your tensioner is not pushing up on it when you go to try to open the lock. It's got 2 sides, so I guess I'll start on the left side. It's easier for me to pick being right-handed. I might actually try to pick the right side left-handed. I'm using this, I picked it once so far. I used this 18,000th Peterson hook 1. But I'm going to try this 15,000th just because it's a little bit, and not because it's thinner, but it's a little bit flatter so I can get under the pins easier. I did make this pick, but I'm not used to, I'm used to pin tumblers, so this seems easy to me. Just got to flip the tension bar around every once in a while so I can push down versus pushing up and things like that. It's a little bit tricky. I got this magnifier light in front of my face so I can see down in it, so that gets in the way a little bit. Let's go. Alright, the first pin is just loose, so there's no binding on it. Second pin on the left side is binding. Click out of it. Maybe now if that one, and it's loose in its gate, so that's probably a true gate. False gates tend to bind really, like you can't move at all. So now I'm going to try the first pin as well, and I'm getting some clicks out of the first pin, but it's not giving me a lot of good sensation that it's in the gate, and that's probably because now the third pin needs to be set. And the reason is that if there are pins that are close by that are not set, or at least in their false gates, then the sidebar is going to have trouble putting tension on that pin there. And I can maybe show that later if that doesn't make sense. So I'm going to try pin 3 next. It's a little bit tricky to get to with this hook and these angles. When I'm not on video, I can move a lot of things around a lot, making it a lot easier. Right, pin 3 didn't really give me much feedback, so I'm going to go to pin 4 now. And the pins, they alternate between the sliders, they alternate between having 1 pin, click out of 4, 1 pin out the side and 2. So on the left side it goes 2 pins sticking into the keyway, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then on the other side it goes 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So there are 18 pins sticking into the keyway, making it like a mess to look in here. It's pretty tricky to see in here. Alright, I'll go back to pin 1. See if I can, okay, pin 1. Down here it feels like it's moving a lot. Feels like it might be the gate. Let's go to pin 3 again now that pin 4 feels like it's in place. Okay, so pin 3 is moving kind of like it's in its true gate. Pin 5, or slider 5. Maybe I'll go down to slider 6. Alright, slider 6 just moves freely, so that means that slider 5 probably has to be set for me to get any feedback from slider 6. I'm having a hard time seeing it. Maybe I'll try this new tool out that I made. I put little depth markings on it to help me find which pin I'm on. So let's see if I can get down to pin 5 for this. thing is I need to look from the side to see the depth marking, and then I can't see if I'm getting on the pin or not. So I think I'm on the pin there. It's wiggling kind of like it's in a true gate. Oh, that feels even better. Okay. Alright, I'll start at the beginning just to check this left side, and then I'll go to the right side. 1 and 2 feel like they're in gates. 3 seems okay. 4 is really binding hard, so it feels like it's in a false gate. I'm going to go ahead and try to push that down. Now it feels better. I'm going to go to the right side for a bit. That might help me get a little bit more rotation to get a little bit more tension on the left side. So I'll start, let's start at the front. Okay, the first pin is binding a little, so let's see. That feels like it might be it, but it's only binding a little. Pin 2. Pin 2 is sliding around a lot, so I think that means that pin 3 needs to be moved to give some tension to pin 2. Or I keep calling them pins. They are sliders, but when I look down this keyway, I see a bunch of pins sticking into the keyway, so that's why I refer to them as pins. Pin 4. Really, is that it there? 4 is just freely moving. I got to get some of those ones in the back to stop these things from moving so much. So let's go down to pin 6, and this is where my fingers are getting in my way. And if I could get good at using that tool, it might help a lot. Alright, there goes pin 5. Slid that up some. But pin 6 still feels really loose. Let's move pin 5 a little bit more. Okay, that feels like I just jumped out of the gate, and it's just like, alright, drop back down there. That feels better, but pin 6 still doesn't look good. So let's check out pin 4 again. Okay, I'm going to switch my attention down to the bottom. There's no springs in here, which is really nice. Makes this lock fun to pick, in that you can get some progress. When you get a little frustrated, you can take a break, and then you could come back later and just resume, because everything will just be wherever you left it, because no springs to push you back. Alright, so pin 3 here. That looks good. Pin 4. Pin 4 is really loose, so I'm not getting a lot of stuff binding on the right here. I mean, I think I'll have to go back to the left and make sure that I finish. Maybe the strategy on this is to finish one side. It seems like the left might be the first side to work on, and then go to the right. Right, that first one is not binding very well. Oh. Alright. Second pin here. Alright, that's better for the second pin, and now, no, the first pin is still not quite right. Let's go to the third pin. Third pin. Second pin feels better now. 1, 3, 5. Fifth pin. Sliding around. Pin 6. Okay, click from pin 6 goes up a little. Let's go check on pin 5 again. So stuff is just freely floating the entire, if a slider can float the entire up to down, then that means that the pins around it are probably not set, or not even in a false gate. here. One is binding a little bit better now, so that feels a little bit more certain that that's in its gate. Let's go to pin 3. Okay, pin 3 click, and it seems okay. Pin 4. Pin 4. It seems to be wiggling around, but I'm going to try moving it up. See how that... Okay, that seems even better. Okay, and now, yeah, a lot of my pins on the left side seem to get a little bit more solid with that move. But I'm not really feeling the core rotate, so can't really say. You'd think once they're all in false gates, I should get some core rotation at least, as the sidebars are able to drop in a little bit. So I'm not even sure if everything's in a false gate yet. It should be. These pins are either not set at all, or in a false gate, or in a true gate, and each of them only has, not all of them have false gates, but most of them do, and there's only one false gate on each pin that does have one. Alright, let's check this right side a little. Second pin just moves like nothing. Like nothing. Yeah, there's no tension on that second pin. So if I do get this picked, I'll obviously down the road have to make another one, maybe with the tool when I get a lot better. This is just my second attempt at getting this open. So I'm going to make a lot of mistakes and make a long video. Usually I like to get a lockdown to at least where I can consistently pick it and I know that I'm doing the right thing before I make a video of it. So I'm not doing blind picks on those videos where I'm getting them open really quick, obviously. Don't want to act like I'm trying to trick people. Okay. I'm not getting much out of the right side there. Let me try tensioning to the left. Oh, okay. So tensioning to the left seemed to put a lot more pressure, at least on the front pin. Let's see if the second pin was always floating, or still floating all around, so maybe it's not a big difference. Oh, why is this? Alright, so I'm checking the left side now. First pin. Okay, that feels good. Second pin feels good. Let me see where my third pins are. How come there's nothing down? Did they all get shoved to the top? Okay, there's the third pin. Fourth pin. Fifth pin is just sliding around, so I think the fourth pin move that I just did knocked the fourth pin out of any sort of gate. So let's try to get the fourth pin back in again. Oh no, it feels okay. Third pin is binding really tight, so that means that it's between gates probably, and that's probably what's causing other stuff around it to wiggle wildly. Alright, now the fourth pin is pretty tight. Okay, dropped it down a little. First pin is really tight, so it's probably between gates. Well, I got a little rotation off the core. That's either that I put the first one into the gate or into a false gate. Okay. Let's get to, well, since I got a little rotation, maybe now the right side I'll get some binding off that pin 2 that was always just sliding all over the place. Let's see. No such luck. Now pin 1 sliding all over the place. Okay, so that probably means that pin 3 or 4 are pushing up hard on that sidebar on the right side and stopping me from getting any tension. So let's check 3. No, 3 sliding all over the place too. That's really weird. Okay. So pin 4 sliding all over. Okay, what is... That's just really bizarre. I haven't had it where they just all slide all over the place like that. I didn't get all the way back yet, so let's get to pin... That's pin 6 all the way back there. He's moving all over too. Who's binding? Oh, okay, pin 3 is binding. Oh, I got some big rotation off the core with moving pin 3 down. It was set too high up. It was like at the maximum. And so it wasn't in a gate of any sort. Okay, I push some of the back pins back down so that I can put my tension back on top and then try picking them in the upward direction. Okay, start at the front again. First pin is feeling like it's in the, well, it's in a gate. Second pin still sliding around wildly. It's so strange. Okay, maybe I should go all the way back. Pin 6. Nope, slides all the way. I thought I was making some good progress with that sudden amount of setting. And try pin 5. I just push 5 all the way down. Let's try this again from pin 2 down. Okay, pin 1 on the right side. Right. Try lifting him up. It's not really binding. Pin 3. Not really binding. Oh, what is going on? I feel like, did I gut it and have the right sidebar fall out? What is going on? Right, pin 5. Got some pins that went too high again. No, it's okay. 1. Oh, I got some binding on pin 2 finally. So it's not, that's big progress because that one was just like floating around all over the place. So pin 2 feels like it's good. Pin, where's pin 3? Pin 3 up top? Pin 3 is up top. Check pin 3 and it looks good. Alright. Pin 4 is one of those double pins. Slider 4 has the double pin on it. that's good. But I accidentally moved up pin 2 when I did that. Let's check if pin 2 is sliding all over again. No. It's not. Oh, it's still not. It's still not giving me the kind of feedback I wish it would. I think so hard doing the right side with being right-handed. I think pin 2 is okay. I gotta worry about those ones way in the back now. Those are always a pain. Just even seeing them is hard. Alright, so a double one, that's gonna be pin 6 that I'm looking at. I'm gonna try to see if I can get on it with this. I think I need to do more work on this pick. It's not really getting on the pin super usefully. Okay. Well, I was on it, and I flung it all the way to the top. Alright, so pin 6 is just moving loose. That means that pin 5 is probably my culprit. So let's see. 1, 3, where are you, 5? Oh, 3 is up high, so that's 5 there. I see 5. 5 is the tall boy in the back. So let's see if I can get on 5 with this hook 1 here. I'll push him up a little. Just 5. Okay, if I were to guess, he is okay. I think so. Now maybe I can do pin 6 or slider 6. Let's see. I haven't done 4, have I? Let me try 4. Okay, 4. Feels a little binding. Maybe that's 4. Alright, I monkeyed around on the right side a while. Let's double check the left side. First pin seems okay. Second pin feels like it got a little bit jostled. It doesn't feel quite. It feels okay, so I pushed it down and now it feels better. But that made my right first pin become super loose. Why? My right first pin is just like, okay. Third pin. Okay, third pin is moving okay. Fourth pin. It's moving okay. Fifth pin. Get to the fifth pin from the top of it. Maybe I'll have to switch my tension to the bottom. I was pulling, so let me push on this side. Let me get to that fifth pin. Oh, fifth pin just kind of slid freely. I'm confused. I am confused. Let's try the sixth pin. Okay, sixth pin is binding tight, so it's probably not in a gate. That's probably what. Okay. That felt like I got the sixth pin, and now I can check the fifth pin that was kind of sliding around. I'm going to push that fifth pin down. to assume, I see the sidebar popping up in the front here on the left side, so I'm going to assume I have my left side picked. And I'll go back to the right now. Okay, now that front one's not floating around so much, which is good. Second one's floating all over the place. What is going on this right side? Let's go down here because the third pin is really high up there. Third pin is seeming okay. And I jump to the fifth pin because that's in the next tall one. And then I'll go to the doubles. So the tall ones are the singles and the short ones are the doubles. Okay, that it's hard to get the pick in because it hits the the magnifier right in front of my face, and my hand isn't the right direction. All right, I'm gonna push on that fifth pin. Okay, I push the fifth pin down. Now let's see if that had any effect on my, no, my 2 is still sliding. My 4 is not too sliding. My 3 is binding tight. Let's see if I can do something about 3. Okay, 3 clicked up, and now it's good. Alright, so 2 is still pretty slidey. Check 1 again. Okay, 1 was a bit tight. Does that help too? Yes. Okay, so that's helping too. So now I gotta figure out where 2 goes. Two is tight. Okay, it just popped up a little. And it's loose, so that is probably in the true gate. So what am I missing? Stuff towards the back probably. The fat pins are the odds. So I see the sidebar popping up in the front on the right side, so it's probably just, I'm probably stuck on the back. Not 100% if it's the left or the right. So I'm going to try pin 5. Or is that, that's pin 5. Pin 6. I see pin 6. Let me, when this pick is in there, then I can no longer see the pin because of my hand. Okay, that's pin 6 there. Let's try going up on it. Okay, so that, oh, it's feeling close. Feeling close. But it's easy to get close. Oh no, what am I saying easy to get close? Look at that, it's picked. It wasn't just close, it was done. Alright, so we're picked. You can see it's rotating, right? Oh my gosh, that took forever. And oh, what did I just do? I turned it. Oh yeah, so there's a bunch of side things. So alright, we'll take it apart, and I'll try to explain some of the things I was feeling and what was going on in there. Get this out the way, and we'll bring over some toys. Or no, over here. Bring over this stuff. And what's really cool about this is that even if you lose your keys, once you remove the C-clip, any 3KS key will be able to get this core out. So all we do is let's move it back to, you can't put the key in while it's not in the lock position because it's got that top sidebar. So I put it back in the lock position, and I'll move this light a little bit out of my face. Alright, so once you put this in, the front of this is going to put all the sliders in their middle positions, so they can go up, down, or middle. And they have, it feels like they have like 5 heights, maybe 6 heights, and you can see the middle one is going to go down this middle channel here, and the middle channel is slightly deeper than the outer 2 channels. So the outer 2 channels you can see are always parallel to each other. That's because they're for those 2 pin sidebars. Actually, I'll show you the sidebars, that'll make it easier to explain. So once I stick this in, okay, still doesn't go in. Why? Did I put it upside down or something? Okay, that's gonna suck. I did. I put it upside down. And when I did, I must have bumped the slider. I must have bumped these front sliders. Okay. Can I fix this really quick? Or did I ruin it? Let's see. Where's the front pins? Okay, so they move. But the right side pin doesn't move. But the left side pin moves. Not sure what I did. I cannot turn it. One of the sidebars is stuck. Isn't that just great? Let's see if I can push on the sidebar a little. Okay, so this bottom sidebar seems okay. Top sidebar seems okay. All the way down. Bottom sidebar all the way down. Sidebar seems fine. So it must be the top sidebar. So maybe if I... Oh no, that might move my sliders. That might be a mistake. Oh, okay. I pushed it in probably too far, the key, and I pushed that top sidebar. Okay, all right. So now that it's the right way around, I can stick this key in. Okay, I can stick the key in. And when I pull the key out, what's going to happen is each of the sliders are going to exit the end of the key. They're going to exit the back end of this key, which is going to leave them all in their centermost position. And now that they're all in their centermost position, and any 3KS key can do this now, you can slide out the core. Okay, so there's the core. And in here we've got two sidebars. So you got that sidebar there. And the sidebar doesn't have fingers like some of the other sidebar things you might have seen. It's just got these two solid bars, top and bottom. So that's the one sidebar, and the two sidebars looks the same. So there's two sidebars. And then the top sidebar, it just fits into the top of this key and drops down into there, and that stops the key from coming out. But if you don't have a key in there to push this up, like when you're picking it, this just doesn't do anything. It just stays out of the way. And we'll pull out all of our pins. I like to go from left to right, so we'll go. And I want to keep their orientation top to bottom, because these pins, like if you want to repin it, you can flip them over and they'll work, but you'd end up with a different bitting, right? So I want to make sure that I poke them the right way around. Okay, so that's the left side pins, right side pins. Right side pins. Okay. So there's the core. Not much to see there. But these pins, let's get them all facing. Well, let's face these all left. Put that over. This will take a second. Put that, and I'll face the right ones to the right. Okay, so we'll look at the pins real quick. So here are our pins. Some light. So the pins, like I was saying, they either have these two, the sliders have these two pins sticking into the keyway, or the single one. The single one is longer than the two flat ones, so you can avoid the flat ones while you're messing with these ones. And the false gates are these little cuts here. And when you fall into a false gate, see this false gate here, there's one on top here, this one has one on top, this one has one on top, this one has one on top. So all the left side no, all the right side pins had false gates. The left side false gate, this one doesn't have a false gate. So this one, there's no false gate on this one. And when you have one of these sliders with the 2 pins, it's going to slide down the shallower channels, but the shallow channels are just in parallel because this has to be able to slide along, right? And it never drops into the middle deeper channel because only one pin will always be outside of that middle channel, so it'll guide it. Is there something else I said I was going to talk about? When you push these up, they're only going to really click twice, I guess, as they go. So you're going to have it. It's going to be blocking the sidebar, and then if you push up, it'll drop into that true gate there, and there's a lot of wiggle room. But if you keep pushing, you'll end up in this false gate, and there, it doesn't wiggle at all. So you can feel the difference between the true and false gates. But if any of the pins, or if any of the sliders are keeping the sidebar outside of a true or false gate, it's going to keep this slider maximized away, and it'll cause other sliders that are nearby not to bind. So I think one of the first things you want to do is try to get all of these sliders into a false gate. The sidebar will go in a little bit, and you'll get a little bit of quarter rotation. And then you can just work out which ones are false gates, which ones are true gates, and then go from there. Anyways, this video is almost 40 minutes long. I'll definitely have to do another one when I get better, but hopefully it has a little bit of useful information if you're trying to also get into your 3KS. Alright, thanks.